like make this anonymous this time because at this point, Circle and I are both pretty known for using the Mario and Friends ASM, so I think even if we wanted to keep it anonymous, it would not do very much because every judge will associate it with us already. I guess if they weren't here for Hackjam 2021, maybe not, but anyway, this is the very rough sketch overworld that we sketched out last night, and basically just had it set so we have a rough idea of what's happening here. We discussed it a little bit more offline, and I think we're gonna try to instead of adding colors to the world as you complete levels, have each of the subworlds become more and more themed after each character. We don't exactly know what we're gonna do with that quite yet. Sorry. Yeah, Ham came up with that idea, and I thought it was a really good one, so we're definitely going to try to roll with it. I don't know exactly what it means for each world yet, honestly, but like it sounds like it fits really well, and then also fits into just like the general aesthetic that we have here. So, you start at level 105, and then after you complete the tutorial, it branches off, and you can either do level 1 or level 8. After you beat level 1, it unlocks world 1 and 2 for you. And then after you beat level 8, it unlocks worlds 3 and 4 for you. The little arrow world is Mario only levels that are going to be pretty straightforward, just kind of standard platforming. Sort of to just show that Mario is Mario. He can spin jump, he can do all the stuff he normally does in SMW, whatever. And then as you go into each of the numbered worlds, you'll also be paired with a friend. And can switch between them either with LNR or when we tell you to. So World 1, for example, is probably going to be Luigi. I don't think we fully decided which world is going to which characters, but like, I think the only decision that's really to be made with that is which character is locked off. Hi Torch, thanks for getting first. And I think after discussing the story stuff, we're potentially going to have Waluigi for that, but I'll get to that in a minute. So basically, World 1 would be Mario and Luigi levels together, where you can switch between them or just play as Luigi. I think as of right now, we're planning on having one level where it's just the friend, so you get used to just the friend's mechanics without Mario. And then probably 1 to 2 levels where you can switch between the two characters. Circle also has a setting where it won't switch unless we force the switches with like a midway, basically. It's not a midway, but it's a custom block that kind of looks like one. So we might implement that, or we might just have a couple of levels where you can switch between them. I do think it's probably a little easier for the player to understand the structure of the game if we have the first level of each world be the friend only, the second level of each world be a level where it switches, but only when we tell you you can, and then the other levels from there being free switching if we decide to add more levels or whatever. I don't want to overcommit to levels because we already have a lot of levels to design, honestly. But basically the goal would be to move up the world here and get to each of the end points, and then as you get to each of the end points, you build a bridge to World 5. That's why there's all these little like sub things along the way. Basically, as you beat level 4, level 7, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can access World 5 off of this. And once you get to World 5, Circle had the idea that at this point, Waluigi kind of messes stuff up, and we can potentially do an alternate palette for the previous levels and basically somehow show off. I'm not sure exactly how, but show off that like Waluigi messed with stuff and everything's all weird now, because there is ASM to be able to change the palettes of other levels, I believe, after an event. I haven't looked into it yet, but when it came out, I looked into it a little bit. Not 100% on the Waluigi idea. I do think it's interesting. I think it's dependent on how easy that specific palette swap ASM is to implement. But, like, if it is easy to implement, I'm super down to do it, because honestly, I tend to go a little overboard when I am given a theme of something, but also I think sticking to a theme of something and like really going for it does kind of make it more unique than it maybe would have been without that theme. So if that does happen, basically as we reach World 5 and maybe even after we beat level F or something to confirm that we've like actually gotten to level 5 and beaten it, Waluigi can fuck stuff up, change the palette, or not, or whatever. And then basically World 5 would be the Mario and Waluigi combo world for however long that is. And then after you get to World 6, World 6 will be a combination of characters without Mario in it. Lore-wise, hypothetically, Mario gets kidnapped at that point or something, and it's up to the friends to save the day or something like that. I don't know. The good thing about Mario's stories is they don't have to be like the most revolutionary things in the world. They kind of just have to be an excuse to explain some of the platforming sometimes. So World 6 will be whatever combinations of non-Mario stuff we design along the way, basically. Hi Vex, how's it going? Mario and Friends Book 1. It's more Book 2, because this actually does somewhat play off of the first one. Toad's not in this one, and at this point I don't think Toad should be in this one. But this is theoretically Mario and Friends 2, since Mario and Friends 1 came out in Hackjam 2021, which was somehow fucking 3 years ago. Can we just talk about Mario and Friends 1 being 3 years old now? Because, like, where is time going? Bored at work. I'm sorry to hear that. I took off a couple of days, so I'm kind of just chilling and talking over stuff. Oh yeah. Thank you everyone again for all of the birthday love, including all the subs and bits and stuff, because we had lots of goals up, and I am shocked that we hit as many as we did, much less like pretty much all of them, including doubling the bit goal. Do I still have this up, actually? This is how bad y'all crushed the bit goal on my birthday. So, thank you again. And that was already a very high bit goal, so. Okay, so the good news is, after like all of the planning and stuff that we did last night, we actually have like a pretty good structure of what we need to do. We do also have an idea of each of the worlds being themed after like a game, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm more willing to flex that idea if it means that it'll be less work for us to just design a game where we're switching between the characters and stuff. I went resource hunting last night and found like probably like 40 or so different things across like 4 different Mario games that we could use for each of the first 4 worlds. I don't want to use all of them because that's like way too much and would kind of take the focus away from switching and stuff, which I think is the more interesting part. But I am down to maybe even use like one of the custom things per level and just kind of give like a light theming to it, where like if you know what it's from, you can kind of see that this is a more Super Mario Land inspired SMW level or something. But yeah, I think outside of that, that's not even useful. Okay, I'll just hide it. That's fine. Outside of that, basically, we have a pretty good idea of what we need to do, but we just have to design a lot of levels now. Which is fine. It just means that we have a lot to do. I am interested in nerfing this, because this is harder than I wanted it to be when I set this up originally. This cord that this PS4 controller is plugged into is not the best anymore. I've never done sprite stacks, but I am definitely down to use them because they're something that I am very interested in and just have never used for one reason or another. I'm not actually sure why I've never used them because they seem like they're really interesting. Hi Ham, how's it going? Good to see you. I absolutely need to fix the palette in this. I haven't figured out what it needs to be yet, but it is not where I want it to be yet. Which is like fine. Palettes take a minute to tweak, especially when you're doing layer 2, and especially when you're doing layer 2 transparent. I think I just need to make all of these layer 2 layers darker. The only thing that kind of concerned me is the layer 2 ground right here, because it's just sharing a palette with the main foreground. Circle, did you say it would be possible to have Auto-Tiler be able to do different palettes? Okay. Because that's probably worth doing. Okay, definitely need to just make that part a little more. I think we can even just do this probably. Yeah, that's probably fine. Just copy page 10 onto page 11 and set the palette? Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that easy. Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, this auto-tiler is cool. Okay. let's work on this palette really quick. Because I think I'll be more able to actually do this once that's fixed. God, I wish there was a way to just show these other windows. You can do it for the overworld editor, but you can't do it for the palette editor or layer 2 editor, so. Okay, so this would be the auto tiler, and it's this purple currently, which obviously is not gonna cut it. Yeah, it's one thing that I've like really never gotten, honestly, about lunar magic, and as someone who's used lunar magic for like 6 or 7 years now, is that it's like very awkwardly hard to capture these windows. Purple chartreuse isn't the palette you want. Shocking, right? Okay, so I like that palette. Let's fix this one. This is the one that needs to be like way darker everywhere, right? Yeah, that definitely already looks way better. So instead of using the tile at 1000, I'm just using the tile at 1100 now to change the palette for this, if I understand right. Okay. Okay, let's move this over here, and then auto tiler here. Replace that, that, that. Okay. This is already looking much better. Oh yeah, that ground still needs to be darker, but actually still looks much better than it did before too. But this palette is definitely where it's at for the foreground. This yellow Koopa is not really doing what it needs to do here, but I'm not sure what needs to be here yet. But I'm vocalizing that I don't love that yellow Koopa, so it's not there anymore. Okay, that's what I figured. Thank you. Okay. Now that we're back over here, I think this is good. If I make palette tweaks, it's just going to be pretty minor stuff, but fiddling around with finding a main foreground color is pretty important, so... This specific slope is not going to work anymore, but that's fine, because that was more of a Kaizoe slope than I meant for it to be anyway. So... for those that don't know what I'm doing by placing this tile everywhere, by the way, since I realized I didn't explain this, this is part of Circle Friendo's really cool auto-tiler system, where basically the game sort of reads what it's supposed to be putting in each of these tiles for, like, for instance, this corner tile, and this ground tile, and this ceiling tile, and so on and so on. But it just like automatically reads how to do that. And a lot of designers will typically do this with just like cement blocks when they're throwing down ideas anyway, but this is basically just that without actually having to like really do anything else, so it's very cool. Can I add to the map 11 or page 11 map 16? Or will that mess with the auto tiler? I can? Okay. Cool. Okay, it's not that one, but it's close. That one then? Let's put that one then. Yeah, it is. Okay. Maybe, but not quite, actually. Let me see if there's a better one. Maybe that one. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Thank you. This transparent green already looks so much better than the bright ass one that was there before. The transparent layer 2 is honestly pretty tricky to work with, and I'm not entirely sure why I decided to just start working with it with this level. But it does give the level a nice vibe when it's like done right. I don't think it was done right before. It feels more done correctly now, but we can still tweak it and stuff. Well, like, I definitely could have just made this like a pretty standard-ass platforming level. This did not in any way, shape, or form have to be a layer 2 scroll level. But, like, when you have an idea, I guess you just gotta roll with it. Especially when you got, like, 18 levels to make. Oh yeah, speaking of circle/ham, did we have anyone in mind if we were to hypothetically add another level designer? Yeah, I am also. Oh, is Amper involved in anything right now? Because I know Amper's been really involved, or like interested in Mario and Friends. Maybe they'd want to pop on and do some levels with us for that. I know they're normally like heading these competitions, but I thought it was Valentine this time. Oh, and Amper has been interested in doing a collab project with me for a bit anyway. We were supposed to do a race level together, but I'm definitely down to do Mario and Friends with Amper if y'all want. Just because we do have like kind of a lot of levels to make, and honestly I would rather be in a position where we have so many levels that we have to add stuff to the overworld to make the game longer, rather than like cut stuff that we think is like pretty critical just because we ran out of time. And again, I am also open to just keeping it to us, but seeing how many levels we actually have to get done, I'm more open to adding on another friend and or two if we need to. I think we probably only need another level designer, honestly. Like, I don't know if we necessarily need 5 people, but if we come up with a 5th and they're interested, I would not be against it. But I do think potentially adding on at least a 4th person, if we can think of them, would be a good idea. So I guess if we're down, I can just message Amber and maybe on the next break or something and see if they're down. Or if they pop in the chat at any point. Also, it blows my mind every single time how much of a difference a good palette like actually makes. Thank you for the follow. Okay, that got rid of the highlight on this, which I like. But now I want this to be darker. So there's actually like a slight differentiation. There we go. Too bad the auto tiler doesn't work in editor. Yeah, I do wish it worked in editor, because this is definitely less like artistic, I guess, than my levels normally feel. But also, in level, they feel great, and that's all that really matters, honestly. So, also this palette is so much fucking better, even if the level itself is not like 100% where I want it to be. This is definitely a much cleaner palette. So if I not that I'd necessarily want to, but theoretically if I wanted to. It doesn't really make it more transparent, it just makes it brighter. Oh. Another thing that I don't love about Lunar Magic windows is when you Control Z to undo something in your palette editor, but it instead undoes a little bit of your level instead. Just get rid of all of that. Okay, so I can lower those munchers by 1. Oh, this is still not close enough? Okay, do you get crushed here? No. Okay, good. In that case, let's scoot you over 1 and down 1. I assume we're trying to be pretty lenient with power-ups in this, correct? Because part of the fun was getting to see the other characters in like different power-up states too. And also because of the standard. Okay. Just wanted to check before I started putting them everywhere, but definitely putting at least 1 per segment then. Yeah, I don't think we need to make this hack quite as easy as we made the first one, honestly. Even just with some of the level design I have now, I feel like we're kind of trending that way anyway. But it would probably be a good idea to at least just give power-ups and make a fun segment for people to play through. Also, I guess I didn't even mention it, but we're cool with using the midway object with secondary entrances and stuff from midpoints, I assume. Because I started doing that recently, and it's much easier to just have all your midways in the game as a table. Because then you don't even have to edit the retry table order. Yeah, I definitely want to try to stay on the easy side, so as I mentioned in the DM, I'm definitely down to have y'all nerf literally anything you want of any of these segments, or change them as you want. Mostly just trying to put down ideas, and we can kind of tweak them as we see fit. Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely just gonna be the easiest way for us to design, because if we try to design just 100% standard right out the gate, I think it's gonna be a little difficult for us to really get our bearings down, and also it's gonna be a little difficult for us to actually design enough, I think. Cool. For some reason I thought Bun's physical therapy was going to take way longer, but she's already on her way home, so whenever she is home I'm just going to mute. I'll still probably be on designing stuff, but we'll just be kind of chilling and listening to music for a bit while she's here, because I don't... Unless she wants to be on stream, I guess, but I assume she's going to want to chill after that. Speaking of Bun, they also mentioned they're down to playtest for us whenever we're ready, so... I should have put underway there so I can actually continue here, because this first segment's fine, I think. Oh, hello, bright-ass yellow. That's gonna be an issue. You're fine. You just want to use a pipe there. I guess it makes sense for the Mario only level to have only enemies that you can spin jump on. Even just that Spiny crawling at the bottom of the screen, even if he's not doing anything, makes that segment feel more complete. It's funny how that works. Yeah, I definitely don't want it to be, like, if anything, I want it to be, like, standard normal with maybe, like, the final level being standard hard-ish. Which is why I'm trying to replace all of these segments that I originally had with munchers and stuff with just ground and being able to chill and time stuff out or whatever. Like, even this feels like too many munchers. And I guess it doesn't actually have to be that many munchers now that I look at it. Okay. I think I managed to calm down the amount of munchers in this segment, which is good, because it was still more than I wanted it to be. I do want there to be, like, some amount of danger and interesting platforming, but... yeah, that's better. Okay. Let me actually remember. Make save state here. And we can work on the second half. Okay. That segment now feels more in line with the difficulty I was, like, wanting to aim for. That said, even though I am trying to cut down on the amount of munchers, I do want you to at least do one bounce off a spiny. Basically trying to force as many organic spin jumps as I can to really drive home the point that Mario still has his spin jump. Okay. Because these guys are spawning in too high. Alright, I think I hear Bone on their way back up. So I'm gonna go ahead and be on mute for a bit. Oh, there's also an ad that's about to run, so I'll let that run. I'll still be here though. One sec.
ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Have fun with the Hackjam. Hope the Mimikyu and Game Design book get there soon, if they haven't already.
Okay. Hi everyone, we're off mute again. Hi Sylv, hi BD, hi everyone who's come in since then. So, spoilers for this year's Hackjam, I guess, but Circle, Ham, and I are together once again for Mario and Friends. Since we are not spending half the time working on a base realm this time, we're actually planning on doing a decent amount of levels for this and actually doing like a real overworld. So basically we start off in the tutorial level, and the tutorial level is going to basically just be a quick run through of all the characters and stuff. And then as we get into level 1 and level 8, they're going to be Mario only levels, which will unlock worlds 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. Each of these worlds will be Mario plus one other friend. So like this one will be Mario and Luigi, this one will be Mario and Peach, this one will be Mario and Daisy, and so on. We also have Wario and Waluigi, I guess, if you didn't know the other characters in the base ROM. So basically, as you go through, there's different ways to force the switching, either by just locking it to one friend specifically, having it be block activated, where you have to like pass through these like midway tapes basically to be able to switch characters, or having it where you can just do the free LR switching like we did in 113. So I figure we can showcase at least one of each of those types of levels in each world. And then basically as you build each world, Ham came up with the idea that we should have each world like become more progressively themed like that character. So like world 1's going to become more Luigi-ified, world 2 is going to be more Peach-ified, and so on and so on. And then basically as you get to the end of each of these 4 paths, you unlock more of this like bridge over to World 5 basically. World 5 is going to be the Mario and Waluigi world, which may or may not have tweaked palettes for the rest of the game. We haven't decided on that part yet. But basically after you get to the end of World 5, something will happen to Mario where he becomes unusable for World 6. And then basically as you get to World 6, it's going to be a bunch of combinations of non-Mario stuff. So like a Peach and Daisy level and like a Wario and Waluigi level or something like that. And then basically the end of the game would, or like the final level would theoretically have all of them available by switching, and then you could just kind of do whichever one you wanted. So it's a much bigger idea. Oh yeah, World 6 being Hack Mario was a little bit of a personal note. But the World 6 Hack Mario world is basically just going to be any other combination of the characters that we want to design around. I figure it makes at least a little bit of sense to have a Princess's level and a Wario and Waluigi level. Obviously Luigi's got to get a combination also, but I'm not exactly sure where to work that in, so we'll figure it out. And then we scrapped the idea of the worlds being like specifically game themed, because I think there's just one too many ideas to have. Maybe that'll be good for Mario and Friends 3 where they're visiting specific games, but I think for this specific one I want it to be focused more on just the character interactions and like a couple of fun things that we can do with them, but most of it just being platforming fun with the different characters and stuff. So with that said, Circle, Ham, and I have had thoughts about potentially adding on another level designer that we'd vibe with, and we have not been able to find anyone who's not preoccupied with either other teams or other stuff. Depending on how many levels we're able to design, there may be more than just the one specific level per level switching type, but I don't want to overwhelm the 3 of us with like 30 levels to design, so we're going to keep it as minimal as possible basically until we have to switch things around, or if we can add more we will, but so that feels pretty good for a first half. I wasn't really expecting this to be the first half. Oh yeah, also, I keep forgetting to check. Is the auto tiler working in this one? No. Okay. I didn't think it was, but like, I was just wondering if I was just like not paying attention to it or not. Oh, I need to add object 9F. I forgot about that part. You're right. And then F's this one, I think. Nope. There we go. I did have 9F in the level. 9F's up here already. Hackjam sounds fun, but I can't for sure commit. How's it going, Jane? Yeah, the thing about Hackjam is that because okay, I guess it wasn't in the level before. Never mind, we're good. Shoutouts to the auto tiler being amazing. Basically, all these circles automatically get turned into the ground of the tile set that we're working on. Shoutouts to Circle for that one, because that's 100% her, and it's really cool. Yeah. Good to know, Jake. I will keep that in mind. So as I mentioned, we are looking for potentially more help level designing for this. It is standard though. I don't know if you typically design standard stuff at all. Yeah, the auto tiler does save a ton of time, and I'm not like, I definitely like being able to mix in my own graphics also, but I'm definitely not gonna avoid using this. I'm not sure why you said that isn't negative. I will continue to use this, is a less high way to say that, Steven. I keep thinking, who's Tyler? Yeah, I also keep saying that. And saying like auto tile system doesn't sound as smooth. But especially for a project like this, it's gonna be pretty massive. I wish I could like force you to do something with that Galumba, but I don't want the entire end of this segment to come down to if you can do a Galumba kick or not, because that's kind of above the difficulty range that I think I want to aim for with this. Let's try that sentence again. The nice thing about standard design is once you have built like the main path out, it's normally pretty easy to add like additional things for you to do after. You've been playing Celeste and it's fun. Yeah, Celeste is fantastic, honestly. Also, let's do this. Okay. I guess I should have asked before granting mod privileges, but BD, I made you a mod because I trust you, so you don't have to actually do anything if you don't want to, but I realized that that was a little out of date being just VIP for that. I haven't actually played Strawberry Jam yet, but I would like to at some point. I need to warm up to Celeste. I used to be pretty decent at it when I was like playing through it and stuff. But I was not able to do much more than get through Farewell, which is like still pretty big accomplishment in that game, but like I didn't really do a ton of the seasides or anything, much less like all the custom stuff that you can do. Oh yeah, and the Goldens, for instance, I definitely didn't do any of those. They seemed fun, but like I just never got around to grinding them that hard. It's impressive, because you're a very good gamer yourself. Do they stream or just offline gaming and stuff? Lower that. Lower this. That makes sense. I thought about being a PNG tuber for a minute. It's nice for days where you like don't want to be perceived. There's like one hair that just keeps scratching my face. There we go. Ah. It's making me like almost have to sneeze, but then not able to sneeze. Just like one of the worst feelings. Yeah, I'm very impressed with anyone who's able to get through the Goldens, because those are hard. Oh, you need to be big to get through that? Okay, I should probably make that mushroom a little bit easier to get then. Hi Vincent, how's it going? Yeah, I definitely understand. It's it's nice to have the option, but if you have a camera, and especially if you feel comfortable in front of that camera, you might as well be on camera and stuff. Just because you don't really know what reactions you're going to be able to capture on camera as opposed to a PNG tuber, even if it's like just that and nothing more. Okay. So, now that I know that you have to be big to actually get through there, I guess I should probably be a little bit more lenient with mushrooms. Because, like, you kind of just are dead right there if you're not big. Is the jumping out mushroom sprayed? It is, right? Yeah. I'm like almost ready to test from the midway, I think, but I just want to work on that first half a little bit more. You made this? I made this. Yes, I made this. We are currently working on Hackjam 2024, which is Mario and Friends 2. For those that missed Hackjam 2021, Circle, Friendo, Ham of Justice, and I teamed up to make a hack where you could switch freely between Mario, Toad at the time, and a bunch of other characters. This hack will feature Mario plus Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Wario, and Waluigi. And as you can see when I'm playing Luigi, Luigi has his own jump height and jump arcs and can also ground pound. Although it is a little annoying, I guess, that you have to be big for him to be able to ground pound. I can just give away a lot of power-ups, I think. Yeah, so the original Mario and Friends came out somehow 3 years ago. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm having a coding overload? Okay. Weird. It looks like my stream is fine, but it says I'm having an encoding overload and my laptop is freaking out. So let's close out of Discord, and I guess we'll exit out of Steam for now, and I'll just open it later if I'm playing Klonoa then. I do want to squeeze in a little bit of time for Klonoa today because I had a lot of fun with that on my birthday stream. I like it while big only. I guess I'll let you know if it ends up becoming like prohibitive during design. But as of right now, I'm definitely fine with it being big only. Yeah, I'm definitely, as you can tell with this level, this is more just platforming with Luigi and a couple of spots of here's a mushroom and you have to ground pound through. The second half is going to be more split, I guess, where if you have a mushroom you can do some stuff with the ground pounding, but if not, you're still definitely fine and can just keep platforming. Standard definitely is a different mentality compared to Kaizo for sure, but that's always why I like Mario and Friends design, because it forces me to think of levels a little differently. Where like you want to reward players who are doing well in the level, and like to an extent you kind of want to punish players who are doing like really bad in the level and make them like learn it a bit, but you like don't want to be too punishing, especially with this kind of level design. I think just being able to use the Goomba as like an anti bullet for that is fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely down to potentially add more collectibles and stuff, but that's definitely something we can do more kind of along the way. I'm trying to just add sort of some amount of branching paths. I think it's just these like breakable blocks, because I was having that issue with the Goomba too. Jeez. Alright. I think this first half is shaping up pretty good. Although I guess that means that just passes through here. Okay, so I should do something similar over here then. That's fine. I don't mind quote unquote thematically reusing obstacles. I'm just actually just reusing obstacles. You can probably fix those blocks. I think it's fine. I think it's forcing the level design to be a little more creative anyway. Everybody's standing on level, you got ideas. Everyone's ST locks, you can put mushroom at the end that is harder to get but doable. So that'll be here. I think this obstacle works, but I want to fix this one. If I fix, I at least make this slightly more interesting. Because right now it's just kind of riding a platform. Which is like fine. It feels a little similar to the rest of the first half. Let's push that down, that down. Alright, well, knowing that you have to have a mushroom, I don't mind that you don't use the Goomba there, so I'm fine with that. Boop. Circle, how are the sprite stacks going? Out of curiosity. Added in main branch, nice. Whoops. This should be secondary entrance number 2. Why did the midway break on the first one? Okay. I do think this Luigi level's coming along. I think whenever we're done with this Luigi level, we'll probably switch to Klonoa, because that way we've done 2 levels today. And gotten a pretty decent amount of planning done. I think last time I personally underestimated the amount of like planning time that we would need. So I maybe went like a little extra hard on the planning stages this time to make sure that we were good on that front. I definitely want as much time as possible to just be spent on making fun levels to play with the Mario and Friends characters. I also just noticed we have not done jack shit with the palette. Which, like, honestly, I don't think I need to do anything with this palette, just because it reads clean enough as it is. I guess I could at least, like, color the clouds so it's not just, like, big-ass white clouds in the background. Something I'm also apparently doing after playing through Super Mario Bros. Wonder with Bun is making the end of the level 50 goal a little bit harder to get unless you're like doing stuff well. So like in level 1, for instance, you can take the bottom path at the end, which is like objectively easier. But if you take the spin jump path, you're able to get like the 50 at the end. It's a really small thing, and honestly, I don't even really think it super matters. But like, I personally like trying to get a 50, so I figured we might as well bring that into the standard design. So like, whenever this level ends, it'll probably have what I would guess. And I'm actually just gonna map this out now, and we'll figure out how to end the level after that. Is an optional bullet jump where you jump off of the bullet and actually get like really high off of it, to be able to land on a ledge to potentially get the 50, or you can just like walk under it to get the regular goal. There should still probably be at least like one relatively big platforming obstacle in between here and then. I thought I would have saved state in that way. Oops. Okay. We'll actually do that this time. Maybe that's why it feels like this level's taking fucking forever. Because I keep putting it at the beginning. And of course it's taking forever if I'm testing at the beginning every time. Oh, I have an ad starting in 1 second, apparently, so I'm gonna mute and run to the bathroom really quick, and also take a quick break. It's not gonna be a full 10 minutes, but I will be back since I haven't actually taken one yet. Don't watch the ads, feel free to watch the clip show, and we'll be right back.
Are you goddamn kidding me? I get it on the timeout? Come on. No! Shit. No! That was as close as it can been. I want a photo review of that one. That
Whew. Sketch. Okay.
No! Oh, that sucked. Oh. Yo, it's happening. The comeback. The comeback.
Okay. What are you landing on?
I'm not landing on anything, but I am going to the Big Boo up here to steal a star from everybody.
Fuck off.
Pay 150 coins for 3 stars. Let's go! Whew.
Wow.
We should be able to just take one anyway. And that should be Misty. Well, never mind. We don't take that one. So rest in peace, Magneton, but that's okay. We can just finish off with Resurade. I wasn't actually expecting that to kill. I could have probably pivoted into Politoed there, but that's okay. We don't have a ton of steel types, but we also don't really have a ton of need for steel types at this point. I think we just Pedal Dance because she's gonna full restore. Okay. So with that, we've beaten Misty. We unfortunately lost Magneton because I underestimated Surf there. I feel like that was probably a roll to kill from there. If it was rain boosted Surf, obviously that would have killed, but I feel like Magneton was at least bulky enough to take a Surf from there. Vaporeon does have some pretty high attack, or special attack, but
Okay, we're back. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. My food is very hot, so we'll wait. But hope you're doing well, Star. Good to see you. Okay, so I don't want a ton more in this level. I'm mostly just trying to keep things interesting while also not being like overkill on stuff. I cannot believe I still haven't set a save state at the midway. Okay. Did I forget to put a save state? I swear to God. I'm like 90% sure I forgot to put a save state again. Yep. forgot again. I'm gonna lose it. By it, I mean my midway. Actually, I think I am okay with that one being a actual power-up that you got, because I haven't given you one in a while. I can make this ending a little bit longer, and then end with this, and then we will call that exit 2. One thing I do like about standard design, on top of it just being like easier, is that you don't have to spend as much time like testing to confirm that every single setup you have works and is like 1,000,000% consistent, because it's going to be easy enough that like even if it has some fluctuation, you're still able to figure out what's going on. And honestly, in standard design, some fluctuation in what's happening is actually kind of good sometimes, because it keeps repeat attempts of a level a little more fresh. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start select, and holy shit, they actually put the save state. Should it have been nearly that difficult? No, not at all, but we did it. That muncher right there needs to go. And honestly, probably all those munchers do. Oops. Okay. That works though, and that feels pretty good. Okay. We've already been designing for 3.5 hours. Alright, let's go ahead and I think test. Oh, wait, no, I wanted to change that. To that, I think. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. I think I'd rather, for this endings thing, Turns out I was hungrier than I thought. Shocking, I know. Okay. Let's test both of the levels that we have from the top to make sure that they're like similar-ish difficulty. But I think we have 2 exits done now. I guess you could die on that corner, that's not intended. Should have ground that you could see right here. You could just raise that up a tile, it should be fine. So where'd you have to put clean.smc? So I ended up putting clean.smc in where did I put it? Was that the one that we put in the cache and then had to take out a folder? Yeah. So after you try to run Callisto and it fails once, Ham, go to here and put clean.smc. You may also need to create a Word document or not a Word document, a Notepad document with this formatting. I'll send it to the group DM real quick. But the good news is once you get it set up, we're all interconnected. As long as we're not like overlapping programs and stuff, it's fine. But you're gonna make a user.toml file that just has settings cleanrom equals clean.smc. And then save that to the same folder, the roaming Callisto folder. So then with the user.toml file and clean.smc, you'll be able to patch to it directly. circle out of curiosity, how hard is it to hide the X99 thing for the lives? Because if we have unlimited lives, we might as well just not even really show them up there, I think, and it'll clean up the HUD a little bit. It's not like the end of the world if we have to keep it, but I literally just thought about it, so I thought I would ask. It's pretty easy. Okay. It might be worth doing. Like, our HUD's not like super busy or anything, but just to clean it up a little bit more. Okay. That seems like a good spot to leave this for today. So, let's remind myself to do this. Page 11, map 16, edit. Levels 1 and 2, level overworld. Edit. Okay. Commit to CO. I have one local commit waiting to be pushed to GitHub. Push origin. Preview pull request. Create pull request. Create pull request. Checking for ability to merge automatically. This branch has no conflicts with the base branch. Merge pull request then. Confirming before I click anything. Okay. Sweet. God, that's so easy. You might still need to merge the changes from main into CO. It fetched origin as of 1 minute ago. Do I need to fetch it again? Hi Alyssa, thanks. We just finished up exit number 2 of our standard stuff that we're working on. Okay. Origin has been fetched. But we just finished up exit number 2 of the thing that we're working on, which is Mario and Friends 2. It's going to be a sequel to our 2021 standard hack, Mario and Friends, and it's going to have a lot more levels, and it's going to be more focused on its switching and stuff, and should be fun. I think if we're good on the merging front, well, partially because we don't really have another option, and partially because standard design is a little different. Exit design for it seems to be going a little bit faster. I'm also very willing to just kind of put down ideas and then come back and completely change stuff, but it's easier for me to have stuff kind of on paper first, rather than committing to general ideas of levels but not really having an idea of how the things work or how Luigi's physics work or whatever. And I guess I could probably actually just show it off again before we switch over. I was getting ready to switch over to our first play of Klonoa again, but I'll go ahead and run through the 2 levels that we actually have so far. Can I see if sprite stacks are in my version? Yes, but let me just run through these levels again really quick since I'm already here. didn't really think about what would happen if you got fire flower there. Whoops. Pull request you did should have added CO into main, but not vice versa. Oh, okay. Let me just run through the other level that we have, and then we should be good to check that. Oh, I'm already at the midway for this one. That's fine. Alright, let me actually just check the thing down if I'm at the midway anyway. Would it just be under custom sprites? Where would sprite stacks be? Oh, probably in the directory itself. Yeah, I don't see him in here. Okay. If I switch to the main branch, do I see him? Yes. Okay. So how do I merge main into CO again? Okay. Oh, choose a branch to merge into CO. I see the button down there. Yeah. And then main, create a merge commit. This will merge 6 commits from main into CO. Okay. Cool. That seemed like it did what it was supposed to do. I guess I could check. Yeah, I'm refreshing and still seeing enemy stack, so cool. Okay, that worked. GitHub is unbelievably convenient for collab stuff. Okay, so with that, I think we are gonna chill on S&W for the day. I might come back and work on this a little bit more tomorrow, but I'm not gonna be able to stream for quite as long tomorrow because we're going out to dinner with Paul and friends. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get Klonoa set up. For those that don't know, Klonoa is a really cute Dreamcast era platformer that looks like it's a 3D platformer, but it plays like a 2D platformer. We started it during my birthday, and it's lots of fun, and it's cute, so I want to get back to it, so we're going to. So that's how to get any changes we make into your CO branch, which prevents anything we're doing from changing things out from under you while you're working. You get to choose when to incorporate changes. That is very nice. Also, I'm glad that we troubleshooted it for a while so we could just point Ham immediately where to go, because